Hey everyone, welcome back to the Social Club. I am joined in the studio by the wondrous Adam McCullough and the incredible Peter Ped McPartland. It just looks like he wants to die. He just has to talk about how shit Everton are and Liverpool for the best part of an hour.
He was buzzing talking about Hooters a minute ago.
Let's talk about Hooters.
What, owls?
Will it ever catch on in England?
Why can't we have Hooters in England? Why can't? No, why? Because people like Tom. Neanderthals over there.
Yeah.
Neanderthals. People
Yeah.
can't respect women. Honestly.
He doesn't like his shit.
This is why he has to get the bus to work every day. The fucking bus wanker.
So the topic that we've got this time around is about overhead kicks.
Rudy's got to get the bus to work now, is that?
Yeah, he's gonna be Ubering it, isn't he, Peds? I hope the best that you have Rooney in your cab before the end of
No,
He's going to be just driving around
Although
Rudy's area hoping.
I did pick people up from a professional footballer's house but I won't say who, and I won't say why, and I won't say how many girls there were, and I won't
Was
say...
Laura Simpson there?
I won't say which club in Italy he's joining.
Yeah, I won't say which club. I won't say which German international joining which Italian club in the summer. Who may have a Turkish name. I won't say any of those things.
Oh God, couldn't possibly
tell you where he lived.
It's driver cutting.
Driver passing you. Yeah, it's very much like a doctor.
So,
funny enough, she'd had his finger up her bum as well. No,
wow.
Are we live?
Did you just hand the notes over? I thought digital, isn't it?
Yeah, luckily enough, I didn't have to take any money off her.
Did you get a good review?
Well, she did.
Anyway,
5 stars.
So this has kicked off a little bit again. Now we talked about like the Manny red card the other week, and there's been a whole spate of them. People are just getting kicked left, right, and centre in the face.
They were getting kicked before Mane did it. This is what I hate.
But it's a thing football, now. It's a t-shirt thing.
It's a t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt.
But what happened at the weekend was, David Luiz got sent off, not for this, but he tried an overhead kick and he kicked Lauren Koscielny.
Kicked him here, by the way. Yeah. Koscielny held his face. This is what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Players are going to get kicked on their arm and they're going to go down holding their face. People are going to get sent off. It's a joke, man. If you can't do an overhead kick in the box, where can you do an overhead kick?
Yeah, well, outside the box.
No, but if your defender's doing that...
Yeah.
In your bedroom on the bed. I used to all the time when I was a kid. What the fuck?
Yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I need new bunk beds. What are you trying to do an overhead kid on bunk beds for?
The stepbrothers thing.
There's his brother at the bottom.
There's loads of movement activities in here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it boils down to. I don't think... I'd be interested to know people in the comments, and this is probably a decent thing to get people's take on, whether you think there's a case to be made for it being, for all attempts to be a bookable offence or whatever. Like, just for the sake of argument, I don't agree, because I don't think any of us are going to be able to constructively make a solid point for banning it. I did listen to, we were talking about this on the radio, and the only case I heard was just, the fact of the matter is, booting people in the head is a very dangerous thing to do. So, inevitably, it's only a matter of time before someone gets booted in the head and dies because of it.
Could you imagine, right? Let's be honest, if they banned overhead kicks, the Nazis would have won the Second World War. Because if Pele hadn't been able to do that overhead kick...
Well, wasn't it Ozzy Ardiles?
No, it was Pele. Fucking hell.
Was it?
It was Pele, yeah.
Okay,
if Pele hadn't been able to do that overhead kick, the Nazis would have won the war.
Just to clarify,
so are you trying to say
for the people
those that want to ban overhead kicks are Nazi sympathisers?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Not the words.
I didn't say that.
All the opinions.
Clearly, the all side of North Korea. Who doesn't at this point? Who doesn't want an end to this world?
I think what it boils down to as well.
Everton fans obviously do. I'm all right.
Look at the overhead kick's amazing, isn't it? And if the overhead kick wasn't amazing, it wouldn't be the climax of every American-led piece of football content, whether it's a movie or the Hurricanes cartoon. Everyone loves an overhead kick. Like Shaolin Soccer would be the worst film ever made if they couldn't do all that stuff. Because what could you do? It'd just be boring. No. It would just be boring.
If you kick somebody, then it's a free kick. If you connect with the ball, then it's perfectly
legitimate. But is it not dangerous? Is it not dangerous play to have your foot up that high?
Because look, if I see Koscielny went into that, like he went into it, he could see Luiz was doing an overhead.
But he's got
kick.
right.
So then Luiz has got right to go and get the ball. Mane had a right to go and get the ball. But why is the goalkeeper outside the box?
Yeah. But in that instance, though, Koscielny's the defender. It's his job to literally put his face in the way.
But he never got hit on his face.
I know, but
David Luiz shouldn't have even got booked. Shouldn't have got booked. It shouldn't have been a foul.
Okay.
Like, Mane's is a foul.
Yeah.
But it's not a red. In my opinion, it's not. Wow.
No, it is.
Probably a red card. But because of the way he got blasted in his. But even then, like, I find it hard to criticise a striker for going up with his leg was quite high. I know that. But how does he know the keeper's going to be 5 yards outside the box? How does Luiz know Cassiani's going to pretend to hold
Here's
his
the thing,
face?
though. That David Luiz, what he does the weekend, that's giving us a free kick all day long. We've seen that giving us a free kick all the time. And that's why overhead kicks in the box are rare, because it is difficult to find yourself the space to make the proper connection anyway. You know what I mean? But I mean, ultimately, he gets sent off for a stud sub tackle on the touchline.
This is not a new thing, though. We've seen this happen before. Goals. I've seen goals disallowed, overhead kick disallowed because of where the feet was in relation to someone's head. It's not a new thing. It's just that in football, things happen and we think they are new things, but it's not a new thing. But if it's dangerous play, then it's dangerous play. But we can't be taking overhead kicks out of football.
What if a goal? Because sometimes you see they'll come in for the overhead kick and a defender will go down like that. So if you're bringing your head lower.
It begs the question about is it.
So then,
is
if
it,
the player goes in with his head,
exactly, is it relevant to the damage caused? That's the
That's
point,
what I find
point,
stupid.
isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we'll come back to this in a second. I want to pick up. Ross, have you got some comments on this for us? I've got something I want to take.
First of all, hashtag fake taxi ped is now a thing.
It's been a thing for a while, to be fair.
It ain't fake, baby.
There's a couple of people who said the same thing. So just apply common sense to what's dangerous to players. Straight red, what isn't dangerous. On purpose, what's dangerous. Or worst case, a yellow. But refs need to use common sense overall.
But is that's where I think there's a concern of this, isn't it? Because I think you kind of said at the top there, Adam, you're just going to lead to a load of players grabbing the face and crying and rolling around because...
Like Cassiani did. He tried to get Luiz sent off.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Like, Luiz hit his arm.
Yeah. Okay.
He shouldn't have got booked.
Ross?
And I hate him.
Yeah, just another one. What happens if a player's already on a yellow? Should he then get a yellow and then also get out for that game? He's stupid from referees.
I mean, I guess look, if it's a yellow, if it is a bookable offence and you're on a yellow already, then it's like trying for a challenge, isn't it? You know, you don't. If you go for a sliding tackle when you're on a booking, you miss it. You know, you're getting a yellow, don't you? So I guess it's the same.
I don't think it should be a yellow card trying to cause a positive effect on a football match. You know, if you try an overhead kick and you catch someone, then it's a foul. If a player puts himself in the way, then fair play to the defender for putting himself in there. Good point, yeah. But I think it's you're trying to cause a positive effect on the game. Everyone wants to see overhead kicks. I actually remember, I've actually seen, going back to what you just saying there, I've actually seen a foul be given for someone putting a head into a dangerous position. Yeah. It was years ago. It was the only time it was dangerous play, and he put the head where, you know, low on the ground, and he give a free kick against them because he said it was dangerous play. If you're stupid enough to put your head where people's feet are, then I'm giving.
See, that's not old school. Old school should be if you're going to put your head down there, you're going to get it. Fuck you. I do remember they played Sunday League, and this is amazing the difference in levels of footy, of course. But seeing a lad who had in goal in this game, and he basically got into a bit of a scuffle, and the lad swung for him, connected with his jaw, and he just went, ref, he's just hit me, and the referee turned around and went, shut up, you had it coming.
To be fair, it was probably
Sheffield
the dad,
Sunday League
probably the dad of the lad who punching him.
Sheffield Sunday League was good fun, like. But the question I want to lead on to this then, because I thought it was an interesting point, is that because we've seen the Mane stuff, is like if the ref if he doesn't totally mess up the keeper's face, which he does, and it's horrendous. Is it the response of how injured he looks? Is that impact and stuff? Should bans for these things be determined by how injured the player is?
No.
So if you get a guy, so let's just say Ederson gets put out for 6 months by Mane's kick. I'm not saying you ban Mane for 6 months necessarily, but let's talk around something like that. Your player is costing that team, that player, for that length of time because of dangerous play. Should the length of ban be meted out accordingly?
I think with the Mane one, no, because I think that was. Although I do think it was a red card, I do think it was a genuine coming together. If the keeper had got him first, the keeper would have been sent off.
Yeah.
But if they went head to head, so they've both gone up for the header, would it have been a foul, and which way?
Well, in that occasion, though,
whoever loses,
Mane lost the race, and unfortunately, losing the race. If he'd won the race, he would have knocked it past the keeper and scored, and that would have been his reward. But he lost, but then you see other ones that you think were not premeditated but are horrific, like the one that happens to Seamus Coleman, where you just look at it and go, you were in absolutely zero control, and you were going to break that lad's leg. Now, I'm just picking that example. That happens all the time. In that one, I do think you go, 3 matches, yeah, that's enough for that. And you think, fuck off.
Yeah, and that's the thing we were making about the Mane stuff last week, is that, there's a 3-game ban for an accident, whereas, David Luiz is going to get a 3-game ban for a studs-up tackle on the touchline. I've seen people making cases one way or the other, but for me, he gets pulled back, and I think he just loses his head and he goes to be very physical, studs up, and I can see that being a straight red.
I love a challenge like that, though.
Yeah, we all do.
But I still think that's in the context of football. I think there's challenges that you see and you go, that's got no right to be on a football pitch because you've purposely gone to do someone, like off the ball. And that's where you have to look at it and go...
But isn't losing your head part of that, though?
No, but you go back to, was it Ben Thatcher when he played for Man City, when he threw the elbow, and I think he got a lengthy ban for that. We've seen other ones with that.
Duncan Ferguson.
Nah, that was just friendly.
So hugging him.
I think he only got 3 matches. I think you have to take those aside. But, there has to be extra thrown on top because it's something either premeditated or just really nasty. I'm probably sure Man City were glad to see the back of Ben Thatcher because he was shit.
Yeah.
But you have to take those ones, and you're right. If you go, well, hang on, if that's 3 matches and that's 3 matches, then where really is there?
But then it's like, I think it's fair to say 3 matches for if you can tell when someone intends to do someone, like if they 2-foot them, punch them, whatever, then you deserve an extra ban. But with accidents and last mans, and I think 3-match ban should just stand anyway. But where does it? Because we've seen players over the years that have they get sent off. It's 3 matches, and they probably deserve more, but they don't get it. Or you've seen players that get booked, and they should get done after, but they don't because they got booked. Common sense is never applied. Common sense is never applied.
It's wrong at both ends, I think, to some extent. Because the fact of the matter is, like, David Luiz could have legitimately tried 2 overhead kicks to try and win the game with a wonderful moment of skill, and been given 2 yellow cards and sent off for it. Same way you could get sent off for, like, Raheem Sterling scores the winning goal, runs over into the crowd and gets booked for it, gets sent off. Whereas you could throw into dirty tackles, get the same kind of thing. It's not right at either end. I think.
But then you can look at the FA throughout everything, consistency, even with racism, diving, whatever, fans being treated certain ways. Like whatever they do is always inconsistent. So expecting consistency from them idiots is just it's just pointless, isn't it? It's like there's no
expect the unexpected from the FA. That's what we're saying.
The unexpected is expected. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The only thing expected is them.
Go ahead.
It kind of echoes what you already said, but Nick Harris says it's the result of the impact that makes it a red, not the action.
Yeah, and that's why I wonder whether sometimes, I mean, it's hard to tell, isn't it, whether you get more of a delay thing, or maybe this is where video replays have a bit more of a say and stuff. I don't know, because it's the problem, is the football, everyone's being judged on analysis. Like, all our opinions on football these days are being judged after 4 replays and 5 different people analysing it, and you're seeing X, Y, and Z, and yet football at its purest is still being played at real time. Effectively, and whether those kind of situations are one of those ones where it's worth just having a word, just going and having a word, have a quick look.
You know whose fault it is? Jimmy Hill's.
It's Jimmy Hill's fault.
Jimmy Hill's fault. He invented analysing games, basically. He did. He basically did.
And Shins.
He basically,
and Shins, yeah. He was up there with Brucey, God rest his soul.
God rest both of them. He invented it, so fuck him.
Yeah. I know, yeah. There you go. I think
a kind of argument against myself. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, a bit like Joy Bryan. Something that I was just thinking about in my head, like, defenders get done when they're going through to make a challenge. If they get the ball, perfect challenge, nothing happens. But if that striker just nicks the ball away and they take him down, red card. So, like, it's kind of the same from an attacker's perspective. If you're going for
that's my argument with the man, I think.
I'm arguing against myself now, but that is the common sense in it. But I just feel it's unfair to penalise someone trying, like you said, positivity.
You can say that the other way. You're penalising someone for trying to defend.
Yeah.
But I think footballers, like you just saying, Nick Shelney, footballers are horrible shitbags as well, and that has to be taken in consideration.
Yeah.
If they're gonna, this is what doesn't happen in other sports, and this is why, like rugby, where they're all dead nice, and I mean they're all horrible twats, but you know, you see that how nice they are to each other and the respect they have for each other and the referee. That doesn't happen in football. Footballers will get each other sent off. So maybe if they were a little bit more honest, but then the game and the demands and what we demand as fans, like I seen one at the weekend where I think it was in Germany, the ball should have been kicked out and everyone stopped and the lad just picked it up and went through. And it was great. Now, on one side you go, that's horrible, he shouldn't have done that, he should have. But it's up to the referees to stop the game.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the problem we got in football is it's the stuff built on it's a gentlemanly conduct where there's no gentlemanly conduct left in footy, and that's the you're right, the culture of football's weird. But I just on Adam's point, I totally agree with that. I don't think any legitimate attempt to play the ball, unless you are so late, it's like you've made a stupid attempt to go for it.
Ashley Williams.
I don't think you should be getting booked at all, because then you never did. Like you say, if you both are racing for the ball and you're right, someone just beats you because in that one-off instance they're just a little bit better than you. That shouldn't be a bookable offence.
But sometimes that's the thing I can't get my head around it. If a player goes head to head, he's not getting booked for being late. Yeah. But if he goes with his foot to his head, it's like a shit game of rock, scissors, paper and that.
Yeah.
Like,
a very
depending which way you go, like you're gonna get a booked or a red card. But if you go with the same, you're not getting
punished.
Nothing.
You're being punished for being not as fast as someone else, basically. Yeah. And that shouldn't be really a punishment, should it? If you like this, I can understand. You know, you're tugging someone's shirt and all that kind of thing. That's breaking up the game. That's stopping positive play from happening. But genuinely, if you go in for a tackle and someone just gets there 2 seconds before you do because they're just a little bit quicker, how's that your fault? How do you restrain yourself?
Your fault.
No, but how do you restrain yourself enough to say, well, I'm not going in for that tackle when your fans demand it, when the players around you demand it, when your manager demands it, when the game itself demands it?
It's just, as I say, ultimately what it boils down to is it's the play acting thing doesn't help anything, because it's very difficult for referees when you can talk about this, you're talking about 50,000 people baying for blood, you've got 12 people around you who are all shouting in your face, and you've got to work out what the fuck you've just seen. And then there's this guy who's screaming, crying on the floor, clutching his eye sockets when he's been, you know what I mean? And he's been kicking.
That's afterwards. That should be looked at like we was told it would be, and Koscielny should be booked retrospectively for that, because he's affecting how the referee does his job. And if the ref can't see that in that split second, that has to be looked at afterwards, because he is affecting the job. He's getting someone else booked for, that could ultimately lead to a second yellow, lead to a red card.
Defenders get away with extra shit though, we all know that.
Yeah.
Defenders have been diving for years in the corner when strikers go in the back and they fall over. But no one looks at defenders diving or feigning injury.
Play.
But when it's a striker, they'll say,
like for years, obstruction, where you're stopping the player getting round you when you're letting the ball go for a goal kick. It's fucking obstruction. Someone, for God's sake, give a free kick. Oh, great defender, great. No, it's fucking not. It's obstruction.
Is it because there's just more British players left in defence? Where it's not a cheating foreigner thing?
It's the only thing in football where having a big arse is really helpful, isn't it?
Colo,
but then they'll do this and drop really easy, and it's like, free kick, and no one ever says, that defender's dive.
Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. Anyway, great. Thanks for that. Brilliant. Keep your thoughts coming in on what should and shouldn't be a yellow card. If anyone can, in fact, have we had anyone making a case for overhead kicks being banned at all?
Ian Wright yesterday, a striker, by the way. The fuck's he on about?
Yeah, maybe because it was against Arsenal. Who knows?
Yeah. The only people in the comments are Nazis who want to have a go. They still feel aggrieved at what Pele did.
Maybe.
They really do.
I wonder if anyone in the comments even watched Escape to Victory. Have you ever seen Escape to Victory? Just say Escape to Victory yes or Escape to Victory no in the comments.
Or just Victory.
Or just no.
If you're not in this country.
Just Victory.
Well, that's what it was originally called, Victory.
Was it?
It was only changed to Escape to Victory because we couldn't handle Victory.
Wow.
We need to escape to Victory.
Okay.
Because the old British thing.
The most criminal thing about that entire film is Sylvester Stallone's
goalkeeping. No, it's Russell Osman.
It's not the acting.
Well, that's it.
It's Russell Osman.
Hey, where do I stand for a corner kick? You stand at the back post. You stand in the middle of your goal. Cost me so many points early on in my goalkeeping career. Fucking Michael Caine. Never learned from Michael Caine how to play in goal.
If people haven't seen that, they need to have a good look at their own lives.
That's how, didn't them goals count in Pele's overall
Probably,
record.
probably. I imagine.
Probably Romario took it
Probably.
as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to wrap that up there. Do watch Escape to Victory and subscribe to Full Time Devils and Adam McCullough's channel as well. Subscribe to Toffee TV. Subscribe to Make Sure Up Your Tits. Subscribe to Mix TV. And don't forget that One for the Weekend is coming up this Friday on the Long Ball Street channel. Brand new podcast featuring James Flav and co. It's going to be amazing. Go and subscribe to Long Ball Street. Watch it or listen to it. It'll be amazing. And so will you be as well. For a little bit more Social Club as well, go and check out Adam McCullough's channel this week.